Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Marine ECM test, this time on a MEFI 4B coming from Tennessee. Clint, this is your computer, and I'm going to show you his notes. He sent me a few texts and about his computer being in another, again, facility that told him that the computer is not repairable and he needed to buy a new computer. So you get to hear this story very often on the Marine world. There is a company in California that it does software. It does not repair computers and keeps saying to people that it's not repairable. I even spoke to the company owner because he got a little upset because I was actually using his name openly. And I said, if I'm saying anything that is not true, please, correct me. But I'm just telling you the truth. I said, it's like at that time I couldn't do software, and I sent multiple of my customers directly to this company because he was then the only company that had calibrations for MEFI 4s and MEFI 3s. I am now able to do a lot of those computers. I have most of the calibrations, not all, but most. So less and less, I am steering away any of my customers because of obvious reasons. But I tell them it's like you do software, I can do hardware. So if you run into a spot where your hardware, or sorry, software does not correct it, what I will suggest to you to do is just tell your customer, look, all I can do is check it with software. I don't open computers. I don't know anything about repairing computers. So this is all I can do. And if you want, I can sell your computer or you can send it to another facility. If he doesn't want to refer to me, it doesn't matter. At least tell your customer the truth, but he has not done any time that. So a lot, at least now, a lot of the customer they found me through YouTube and Google. Now they have start giving me reviews and talking to others in the marine world and forums, and more of those customers are coming this way, even though after they got that bad news that the computer is not repairable. So Clint is one of them. So let me get the information on the screen. Just reboot my computer. So I had everything ready, but I had to reboot it because it was not communicating with the iPad. And I need that in order for you guys or for me to see if you guys are looking everything properly. All right. So I'm going to show you a few pictures of, well, this is the computer connected, ready to go. And I have to change. Let me see 1 second. Perfect. Like that, you get to see everything, the simulator, the load box for the coils injectors, and the computer connected. This is going to be the load, the substituted load for the fuel pump when we run it, and that's the ignition module for running the coil. All right, so let me take you over to the screen. This is his hand and his photos showing me the computer. Mike, this is the computer that I'm going to send you, and that is the exact picture. You're going to see that those numbers right in the screen, and he will. It's more important for me. This is a MEFI 4B 125A4052. These numbers are very unique to MEFI 4B. And then the unique number I always use after the letter A, 11450090. All right. So then he sent me this email. This is Clint. I spoke with you this morning, and that was on July 23rd. I got this computer 2 days ago. I have request my MEFI 4B sent to Bob be redirected back to me. I will then ship it to you once it's back. That way you have it virgin with whatever data and codes you can pull from it. Thanks. I also asked him, what is exactly your concern? He said, I bought the boat used in December. I ran it for like 10 minutes in the winter and then put it away thinking I got a good deal. Well, first trip this summer it was idling funny. Then a few minutes later, warning buzz came on and wouldn't go off. After messing with the throttle, it finally stopped the loud alarm. We then run the boat fine for at least an hour or so at a high speed and an idle while fishing. We parked for lunch, and we left it. It went full throttle for 10 seconds and it died like a stall of no fuel. It's a little errors here and there, right? No fuel. Then after that, it will not start. Similar to a floater engine, cranking but not a start. and not turning over. So it's probably just cranking, not starting. Once in a while, it will for a short burst, then installs again. And this is the information, so you can see the computer here connected. And again, that's those numbers. The he or yeah, I think that he's the one who put that. And I put when I received the computer A1. All right, so let me put the diagram here, and I'm going to put one of the pits so we can see that. So everything should be good to go here. So let me power the computer on. All right, we got fuel pump. We got. Hopefully you saw that in there. Let me move this little. You can see how that injector is stuck. Oh, it's stuck. Like this is a shorted injector for sure, and that's what floated your cylinder, Clint. Because yeah, definitely that is no good. All right, let me get into diagram and see what we have here. I'm going to select. Make sure it's popping up. Yep. I'm going to select MEFI 1 and 4. And I can hear the alarm beep, and that is because it's a shorted injector. Bank 1, no, bank 2 is shorted. Let me see what we have here. So this is a computer with a calibration EEA9, 5.7 liters, because I have no information about the boat whatsoever. All that I saw, it was exactly what you guys read in there. It has a total of 14.4 hours. This is a very, very new computer. 14.4 hours. Wow. Let's see what codes we are. Yeah, nothing related to the fuel. Yeah, so the fuel injector. It says throw actuator control. This it has a TAC module, and it's not connected, so I can disregard any of those faults, and that is not a problem. But yeah, we definitely have a shorted injector. Let me see if I can run it. Make sure I have the correct signal. I don't remember what I have as far as signal. The last one I have. Yeah, it should run. I stop it. We can see how the one injector, like hopefully you can see that. I got no light, but yeah, that B injector is completely shorted. I'm gonna raise the RPMs. Oh, yeah, you can see a completely solid light in here. This one is because it's 8 pulses per revolution of the engine, and this one is barely firing. So let me connect the oscilloscope here, so we get to see that too. Very quickly to do that. Wow, it's so annoying. It's a very steady beep. I get what you hear, Clint, because I get that beep in here. There's nothing better than seeing, that light in here, with the simulator. It's definitely showing us something, but not the whole picture. I want you to see what that looks in the oscilloscope, which is again like a graphic multimeter, obviously more than that. So let me turn that on. Yeah, like this. This is definitely in the boat. This will never run. The only reason I can kind of run it is because I have, a simulation. Let me activate the filter so we can clean the signal a little bit. I will change the waveform very shortly. Just give me 1 second. So we got 20 milliseconds per division. Let me see what we got. So we can see, the blue channel is completely shorted, which should be this one here. See, I just disconnected. The red channel just went to 0 because it's unplugged. I'm going to put that red channel into the coil so we can see the firing on the coil, which is, like I said, it's multiple firings. Oh, you're not even seeing that. So give me 1 second, guys. Sometimes I get to uh, connect everything and I forgot that I have to put it on the screen, right? Very important. Otherwise, you guys will not be able to see it. Perfect. Now we can see that. Okay. All right. So the red channel is the coil. So we can see it's multiple firings. So the upper part of that signal is battery voltage, and the bottom is the pretty much ground. I can measure that. Let me just put a measurement. So I'm going to put the maximum on the channel B, and then I'm going to put another one, another measurement in the same channel, but for the minimum. We already got the maximum, right? So we can see how it's 13 volts and then 500 and something millivolts. The blue channel is still connected to here. To it's not going to change but you can see how that the bar went like almost um, like less thick. I'm going to reconnect and I'm going to move now the red channel over to the other injector, which both of the injector drivers are not working properly. We can see here and there an activation on that injector, but it should be more than one. You can see how it's trying, but it's not able to pull. So even like I said, this is like very dim, and the other one is solid, so it's completely shorted. So yeah, definitely, Clint. This computer needs to be repaired. So I have to open it up. I'm going to turn this off because it's very annoying. I'm going to just turn that off, but at least we have communication. So this is a good sign. I have very good success repairing computers like this. And hopefully, this is going to be the case in this one as well. So let me open this computer. I'm going to see what we see inside and see if it's repairable. Then I will contact Clint. And then if he approves the repair, we will be coming back into a fully repaired computer. Let me, before I do or go away, make sure that you can see. Yeah, you can see from the distance all the letters and everything on this computer, because I'm going to remove a cover and analyze what I can do. And when these computers are like this, there is no, I have to open it up and pretty much do the repairs in order to see if it's possible, because these are not like a normal board. This is a hybrid ceramic board. Go over to my multiple videos that I got on the MEFI 4, especially the ones that show like a full repairs or so, where I explain and show the pictures and voltages that I have gathered through years of repairs and tests that I have done on these computers. I have completely mapped out the entire board, and I know exactly what can be repaired or not, what the voltages are, where the paths go, everything I know on this computer. So if I deem one of these computers are not repairable, it's because it cannot be repaired. That is no doubt about it. But it has only been probably, I don't know, maybe one or two out of hundreds. All right, so let me open this up, and hopefully we get a good result. I'll be right back, guys. Let me show you guys a few pictures so you guys can understand how these boards are inside. So let me just, before I go, show you that. Let me take that out. 1 second. Where are you? Right there. Okay, so this is the board. These boards are submerged in a crystal clear gel that it helps dissipate temperature and vibrations, right? Because this is sitting right in on top of the transmission or in the engine, depends on the setup. But as you see, I have gathered a lot of information. These are all pictures and everything that I done myself. So this is not like I get from nobody. And I went also further, and this is the voltage regulator area, which is usually covered with like an epoxy around, and I remove that. And then when a computer cannot be repaired, I take usually as what I call a guinea pig. This is the voltage regulator remove, so I can see where all the lines and everything goes under that. Because I mean, you can see that very nice and sharply, because this is through my microscope. Yeah, so you understand. These, let's say, this line where I have that red arrow right there, is probably a tenth of a human hair. So it's super, super small pads or conductors inside under that voltage regulator. Those are signals. Usually, when they're that small, the big ones, they will carry voltage and amperage, depends on where they're designed, and one is a ground and so on. But you see how much is under that. I mean, it's multiple pins, and that's what I need to understand. And I remove when a computer is completely damaged. I have sometimes tell the customer, it's like, I will not charge you the test fee if you just leave the bad module here. and I can keep it as a guinea pig so I can remove components carefully, start taking pictures. I actually remove everything carefully first, all the upper layer, and then take it over to a machine shop where they grind carefully without breaking it completely. Sometimes, I mean, they did. I actually did it like 3 times with them, but I was able to completely remove and gather all the information that I need. So yes, it is time consuming, but I see the need for repairing these computers and nobody else was doing. And I say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show everybody that it is possible, that I can do it. I would not say that there's many facilities probably. And I don't know really of any other facility that truly repair these computers or even that knows what it's doing, because they're all might say that they're like that guy in California that says that he repairs computer. He does not. He just does software, and that is not repairing a computer. I have to correct. You are reflashing a computer. You're not repairing anything. You might correct a symptom, but you're not repairing anything. You didn't repair that computer. Repair is when like in this case, I have bad injector drivers or anything, and I repaired that. I repaired it. But when you're just changing software, you did a software calibration, no repairs, right? So hopefully that is the correct way to say it. All right, guys. So let me open this computer and I'll be right back. All right, guys. I finished the repairs and it was successful repairs. So I'm actually very glad that Clint was able to find me through, I don't know, forums or Google or YouTube. But yeah, this is very gratifying, very nice to feeling inside when you can help somebody, especially when somebody else was wrongly advising him to spend thousands of dollars in something that we can repair for a fraction of the cost of a new module. And it's actually working perfectly. So this is definitely, I would recommend Clint to definitely check the harnesses to the injectors and the injectors, because either injector can be shorted. And sometimes that happens when they get warm. So please, Clint, make sure that you send your injectors to clean, and or test it on the boat. Make sure that you test the harness, wiggle test. Hopefully you have a technician working with you. But yeah, this is a happy result. So let me get you here. So as you can see, I got the computer fully open right now. This is the cover for Clint. Oh, let me put the picoscope and the diacom. So let me power up. We have the fuel pump. I need to connect the diacom because obviously we lost communication. I'm going to put at least the RPMs so you guys can see the, yeah, you get to see that. Oh, let me do it again because I made a mistake in there. 1 second, guys. And I'm going to put another one, which I'm going to use for the injectors milliseconds. And we will see that also here. Get to adjust that in here. Second, guys. Trying to give you the best of both worlds when I'm doing this. Injector band pulse width, perfect. And I'm going to add another measurement because as you see, I have add a measurement on minimum and maximum on the on both channels, and I'm going to add one for the low pulse width. I'm going to select, bank A, which is the same. Both banks will fire at the same injector pulse width if they're working properly, and I know there are. So let me just run it. Now we can see both injector firing, which is now you can see the minimum and the maximum in there, which is perfectly because, oh, perfect. Just move it on my view. Let me adjust the idle because right now we're in like 150 RPMs. You can see that. Let me get up to normal idle. So we're going to start analyzing the data of ejector circuits. Oops, too much. 700 is fine. All right, so we are looking for, let me see what we got. Got to move those boxes out of my way because they're on my way, not in yours, because I put them in a very good spot. So yeah, the computer is commanding 2.1. We get 2.8, but that is nothing abnormal. What I like to see, and this is exactly what we're seeing right now, is that the injector millisecond time in activation is pretty close to where the computer is commanded, but we have one pulse per injection activation, and that is very important because sometimes this computer, when they're damaged, when the drivers internally or the microprocessor is damaged, it gives like a multi-strike. So it's multiple activations on that same time. So even though the computer says, let's say, like 2.8 milliseconds, it's 2.8 milliseconds, but it's like a very short for a total of like 2.8. But that will not open the injector because the injector needs to be on for that. And on means low. So when that signal gets pulled down to ground, the coil or the solenoid valve, because that's what an injector is, will be pulled open. And then when it releases, is when you see the battery voltage again. So the low is the amount of time that the injector is being commanded open. I'm going to increase the RPMs, and I'm not going to change anything else. I just want to increase it. Like we can see 3,000 RPMs in there. Oh, something happened. Yeah, that was here. Something is happening. Yeah, this is the RPM signal. So give me 1 second, guys, to fix this up because something didn't like it. Let me start it again. Yeah, we got everything. So that what happens in there is that signal that I'm providing, nothing to do with our system because, well, actually right now I only see one of the injectors firing. You see, I think it is actually the signal of the cam and crank that I'm using. You see, because look at when I'm in low RPMs. I'm going to start slowly because the problem with the signal that I'm using in this Mark 50 is a Vortec 4.3. It's not really specifically for these, so I can lose one of the injectors just, and it's not because it's nothing wrong. You can see there is firing in there. It's just the cam to crank correlation is not perfect. I'm going to go slowly. You see how sometimes when I press it goes into nothing and it goes in the blue and it goes into the red. So that is actually this signal. So the camshaft position sensor signal that I have, you see right now, red, blue. So that is just, yeah, I'm going to have to work in this signal because it's definitely not working properly. It's working properly in idle, but it's not working properly for after idle correlation. So I'm going to have to provide that from my older simulator if I want to provide or do the tests in higher RPMs. But we can see, very, very nice and clean signal. No doubt about it. And the other thing that I have not looked into here, well, we had 12.6. Let me see what it. Oh, no, I know exactly what is happening, guys. I cannot do a high RPM. It's nothing wrong with the throttle or not throttle, the cam position sensor in here. It's because I don't have the TAC. This is a TAC module. So the throttle is very important because otherwise it will kill our injector driver to give you back into dock, but limited power. So this is like a limp home mode because of the faults that we have for the TAC module. But injector drivers and everything is good. So I forgot completely what setup we have in here. This is a computer that needs a throttle actuator with a TAC module. Let me show you what a TAC module is. So this is the TAC module. These GM vehicles use this for a very long time, and I have it, but the accelerator pedal that I have is bad and I cannot use it. I have the throttle actuator, the throttle body. Let me show it. I got almost the full setup. You see right here, this is the throttle, and I did all the connections for the throttle body, and I have this. This is for Bobo Penta, but that doesn't work for these computers. And it doesn't accelerate, so I cannot really use it because it makes the correlation in between APP1 and APP2 is not the same as this computer uses. It says a fault and it says that a default and idle, so I cannot use it. So I'm waiting for that one to come, but I know for sure that this is 100% repair. His concern was actually floating. So what Clint told us in there about the experience that he had, like almost like a floated engine, it was right to the. I mean, it's perfect because that was exactly what happened. That injector was completely shorted down, and that would keep a bank of injectors, not just one injector. Because remember, this is two drivers, so in each of those drivers fires 4 injectors per bank. It's a V8 engine. So definitely was floating the engine, no doubt about it. I'm glad that it didn't hydrolock the engine because this could have potentially damaged your engine. But right now we have everything working 100%. So let me turn it off one more time. Let me bring the idle back down. Turn this off. We can see how the signal goes off. And we're going to do it one more time. We got both injectors. And like I said, very beautiful, clean signal. This computer is 100% repair. Uh, like I said, there is no other company in the world. I can with really possession, I can say that there is no other company in the world that can repair these computers. I have not seen anyone being able to repair it, or anyone that has the knowledge, acquired the knowledge to really test and repair this computer as I have done. I have taken the time and money, investing hours and hours and hours and hours to dissect these computers, to reverse engineer every signal that we have here, as I show you in there. And I don't mind showing here and there some of my pictures with my information, because I have specifically put like A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, so nobody will know what that means, because I have my notes and waveforms and everything that I have saved in a separate folder, so I can show you that picture without giving much out, because there is a lot of companies, big companies, that have more money than I can imagine, that can potentially erase me from the face of Earth if I give them what they need, which is that information. No, that is information that I have done and created myself. I didn't ask anybody to give me any information. I did it myself with the help of the Lord and Google and YouTube, in my own time, trying to dissect these computers and understand what is inside. All right, guys, and Clint, thank you so much. I hope that you like the content. I try to share as much as I can. I do have multiple wire diagrams, connections, and I can show you, here, which I have a full folder with the information for these computers. Let me just give me 1 second so I can show you that. That will be here. Let me take these two out. So some of these both depends on which setup is. It uses a very specific trigger wheel. This is the waveform that you would need to have for an 8.1 liter engine. The one is not an 8.1 liter. It uses a different waveform, and that's what I have this. I have put in here the signal that I need for the 8.1. You see right here, I said that this is for the Mark 50 specifically. I'm using the Kodiak 7.4 LS1 for the 8.1 liters. And then on the 5.0, 4.3, 5.7, I use the Silverado 4.3 liter Vortec, and works pretty good. And the only reason that is not happening in here or working good is because of the tach. Remember, the throttle actuator. And I can show you diagrams. This is for a 5.0 or 5.7. This is the entire wire diagrams that this computer uses. I have one customer tell me, "Oh yeah, but the wiring colors are different." I'm like, "Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I mean, the colors is just irrelevant. The connections are what is more important, and those are exactly the same." So disregard the colors. Yes, if you want to go and follow colors, might not work for your setup, because, yeah, you got power, PCM, you got Inmar, you got Volvo Penta, you got Malibu. I mean, Mercruiser. It's different manufacturers, and they're going to change the wire colors, but the connections, no, they have to stick with it, because it's the same computer, right? And then I also have these in here. I have it different and different. This is the one for the 6.0 and the 8.1. You can see it has 8 coils. The 5.0, 4.3, 5.0, and 5.7, they have only 1 coil. They're all batch fires. As far as injectors is going to fire, as you see, like right here, I can actually probably zoom in here. These are the injectors up in the top. And we only have, you see, like in the top, we have the power for each injector, which is at the end all shared to the same fuse. You see a 10 amp fuse. So all the fuses, all the injectors have the same fuse, even though it has 2 different wires and then 4 different wires, one per each injector. They're all sharing the same power. But then one side of injectors is in connector J1 pin 11 for that bank of injectors, 4 injectors, and then J1 26 for the other 4 injectors. But in the bottom, we see the coils. Those are each coil has its own driver in the coil, and the computer fires a 5-volt trigger to that coil at on the specific time. I can show you also if you want to have the pinouts for the connector J1. These are all the connectors on that one, and that fits the 5.7 liters. And this is the one in connector J2. And even though is for 5.7 liters, you can see in here, which is talking about the TAC, and it's talking about ignition control HFD. So all this is for the even for the 8.1. All right, guys. Like I said, I like to share as much as information as possible. If you need anything or you're having problems with the boat, don't hesitate to email me. I'm going to show you also my website. Like that, you get my information in here too. So right here in the upper left corner, you have my email and my telephone. If you have any computer or instrument cluster, automotive or marine that you need to be, to send for repairs, click on this white box in here where I'm hovering with the hand that says click here to fill this form to send a module. That will unload a Word document for you to fill, print, and add in a box with the modules or module. And then if you want to send me an email, you can also just click in here. That will open your email uh, uh, application or in the browser if you have it set up like that with my email already there. All right, guys. So you can use the chat, but if you use the chat, please make sure that you leave your email and telephone so I can contact you because the chat is a chat. Is if you don't leave information to call back or to email you back, I will not be able to get you. All right. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope again that you like the content, and I'm very happy for Clint. I will see you next time. Bye bye.